Now, real quick, I know we've gone long, but I do believe, and I think that these people probably have a legitimate gripe.
This is part of your list still?
No, it's not part of my list. I'm done with the list.
Oh, okay.
I said everything I need to say. And again, whereas it sounds like I'm completely for it, I'm waiting to see what Disney does with standby. If standby lines are unreasonable, then this is an utter failure. There's not I want to be clear on that. However, I think that we're approaching this as we would approach it as people who go there once a year, twice a year, however many times a year. Annual pass holders. Do they have a gripe here?
Just one quick thing, and I'm not an expert on this anyway, but I will just say this. Disneyland, when they originally opened their Max Pass system, it was not available for annual pass holders. Mm-hmm. But eventually they did find a way to work it into a tier inside their annual pass system, and they were able to accommodate. So I think ultimately
that's where
they'll get it eventually. Okay, yeah. So that doesn't answer your question, but I would think that Disney knows what the annual pass holders are and what they mean to the company. I think they'll figure out a way to make it beneficial.
100%. You didn't, yeah. Whereas it might not be answering the question, you went right where I was going to go with this. I would not be surprised. I don't know how long it's going to take. I would not be a bit surprised if at some point in time there's going to be annual pass holders with Disney Genie Plus included. Not the Rise of Resistance stuff, not the individual selection stuff, but the Disney Genie $15 charge. Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if over time that is included for a nominal charge.
I can see that. And just to clarify, it is available for the annual pass holders to purchase.
Yes.
They can do that. So they didn't have to wait for Max Pass or whatever.
Sure.
It wasn't included like that. But as far as stuff that I've been reading, it's like annual pass holders can buy into these additional options with Disney Genie Plus as well as the individually selected attractions. But yeah, I could totally see that they're adding that as I don't know how they're doing annual passes. It's been a while since I've been one. But yeah, one of the tiers or whatever levels they call it or something like that would include this. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I understand that where they're coming from. I don't agree with it. I really don't, and I don't mean to offend, but I don't agree that this is a burden or that this is unfair. I don't think it is, in my opinion.
Well, I don't understand. I'll be curious. The
only reason I say is because they're not losing anything. They're not getting anything extra. They're not getting anything like a benefit at a discounted price, but they also are not losing anything that they currently have. They're getting this. We're all getting the same thing. Now, their argument can be that they deserve more because they're annual pass holders, but they're not getting less. They're getting the same as everybody else is getting.
Mm-hmm. Well, I that's a bad argument to me because you and I have spoken about this when you were over here. And I think we figured it out that for a Florida resident, for an annual pass holder, all the bells and whistles in the record rack, it's like what, $1,000?
$1,000.
Yeah, and for like one person for a park hopper ticket for how many days? What was it?
For 5 days, family of 4, $700.
$700. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're already kind of getting into the territory of the annual guest pays a lot of money for those tickets too. Mm-hmm. And if you go twice a year, we would love the ability. I'm sure all of us would love the ability if we lived there to just go when we want to. And I can guarantee you, I spend upwards of $6,000 every time we go there. Guaranteed. So it's a little bit hard for me to be like, the money that they spend as compared to what we spend, stuff like that, it's a little bit harder. And in fact, we've looked into the idea of having an annual pass before because we spend so much money every time we go, just to see if we could make it worthwhile. But once Fast Pass Plus came along, Disneyland, that was it.
Because that means we'll move to California right now, if that's the case.
Maybe as a Disney Vacation Club holder, I can welcome into our arms and comfort them and help them out a little bit as far as things getting taken away.
Lovingly, of course.
Can I do that?
Yeah, I think you have every right to.
Welcome to the club, baby.
There you go.
Let's talk. Let's have a drink.
Give him that smile and sing to him. Do the croon that you do so well, Kevin.
Now, again, I understand if what ends up happening is that the standby lines are so unreasonable that they absolutely do need a show because they are worried that they have to pay $15 a day just to go visit their park. And fair enough. But if the standby lines are reasonable, that kills all this. If they are unreasonable, well, then, yeah, then I understand them being mad.
Yeah.
I could perfectly understand their anger, and that's what this is all going to hinge on.
And we want to just take a second and thank our lovely Patreon supporters. There they are. And in fact, what you see here is our first Patreon supporters that we've ever had. Definitely appreciate it. And look, if you want to up your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 5 awesome tiers from which you can choose from to help support the Magic Our Way podcast. Again, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way.